digital display on the bedside table reads 4 in the morning. The room is perfectly still, wrapped in the heavy velvet silence that only exists in the deep trough of the night. I do not need the alarm to sound. My internal clock is calibrated to this rhythm, a biological metronome set to the early shift. I reach out and silence the device seconds before it can chirp, preserving the peace of the sleeping house. There is no grogginess, no hitting of the snooze button. I slide the duvet back with a practiced motion, my feet finding the floor. The carpet is cool under my soles. I stand and stretch, feeling the vertebrae align. A slow, deliberate extension of the spine. I am a machine warming up, running a diagnostic check before the heavy lifting begins. I move through the hallway, navigating by memory, and the faint, silvery blue ambient light filtering in from the street lamps outside. The house breathes around me, the settling of timber, the hum of the refrigerator. I step into the bathroom and close the door until it clicks softly into the latch. The routine is immutable. I turn the faucet handle to the exact position that yields warm, not hot, water. I splash my face, the sensation sharp and grounding. It washes away the last residue of dreams. I reach for my toothbrush. The bristles sound loud in the quiet room, a rhythmic scrubbing. I watch myself in the mirror. My eyes are clear. My expression is neutral. I am emptying myself of personal worries, creating the necessary void where the day's work will live. I move to the kitchen. This is the most critical phase of the morning prep. The coffee ritual. I do not use a loud machine that hisses and spits. I prefer the pour over method. It is silent and requires focus. I place the ceramic cone over my travel mug. I insert the paper filter, pressing it against the sides. I measure the grounds. I know the weight by the feel of the scoop in my hand, but I level it off precisely with the back of a knife. The kettle has been kept on a low, warm setting. I pour the water in a slow, concentric spiral. The dark grounds bloom, swelling and releasing a plume of steam that smells of earth and roasted nuts. I watch the dark liquid drip, drip, drip into the vessel below. It is a slow process. It demands patience. I breathe in the steam, letting the aroma awaken my senses. I cap the mug. The seal is tight. I return to the bedroom to dress. My uniform is laid out on the chair, prepared the night before. This is part of the discipline. Nothing is left to chance in the morning. The pants are navy blue tactical cargo trousers, durable and structured. I step into them, pulling them up. The fabric makes a crisp, swishing sound. I fasten the button and pull the zipper. It tracks up smoothly. I thread my belt through the loops. It is a wide, sturdy leather belt. The buckle creates a distinct metal clink as I secure it. Next, the shirt. It is a matching navy polo with the department emblem embroidered on the left chest. The stitching is gold and white, dense and raised against the fabric. I button the collar. I check the mirror. No wrinkles, no lint. I look professional, competent, ready. I sit on the edge of the bed to put on my boots. They are black, polishable leather with composite toes. I loosen the laces, sliding my feet into the structured support. I pull the laces tight, starting from the toe and working my way up the ankle, ensuring equal tension at every eyelet. I tie the knot, double looping it so it will not slip. The boots feel heavy, grounding me to the earth. I collect my gear, my badge clipped to my belt, my ID lanyard, my bag containing my headset, a bottle of water, a specialized ergonomic wrist rest, and a notebook. I walk to the front door, disarm the security system with a rapid sequence of beeps, and step out into the world. The air outside is crisp and cold. The sky is an inky, impenetrable black, dotted with the indifferent light of distant stars. The streetlights cast pools of sodium orange on the asphalt. There is no traffic. The neighborhood is asleep, dreaming in the dark. I am the watchman. I am the one who wakes so they can rest. I unlock my car. The lights flash, a brief greeting. I slide into the driver's seat. The leather is cold, but I know it will warm quickly. I place my coffee mug in the holder. It fits perfectly. I place my bag on the passenger seat. I insert the key and turn it. The engine catches immediately, settling into a low, steady idle. I do not turn on the radio. I prefer the quiet. I prefer to listen to the car, to the tires, to the wind. I reverse out of the driveway, the tires crunching softly on the gravel before finding the smooth pavement of the road. I shift into drive. The car moves forward with effortless power. The commute is a transition zone. It is the airlock between my personal life and the operations floor. I drive through the empty streets, obeying every traffic law strictly. I signal my turns, even though there is no one to see them. Discipline is not a performance. It is a habit. I merge onto the highway. It is a river of concrete flowing through the sleeping city. There are a few long-haul trucks, their running lights outlining their massive shapes like constellations on the ground. I stay in the right lane, setting my cruise control. The rhythmic thump, thump, thump of the tires over the expansion joints is hypnotic. I watch the road ahead. My eyes scan the mirrors. Left, rear, right. Forward. Left, rear, right. Forward. It is the same scanning pattern I will use on my screens later. I am already working, already processing information. I notice a car on the shoulder a mile ahead, hazards flashing. I note the location. Mile marker 104. I check my phone, which is mounted on the dashboard. No alerts. Someone else is handling it. I drive past, noting the tow truck is already there. Good. The system is working. The city skyline approaches, a silhouette of jagged geometric shapes against the dark purple horizon, where the sun is threatening to rise. I take the exit ramp, the car decelerating smoothly. I navigate the grid of the downtown streets. The traffic lights cycle through their patterns for an audience of one. Green, yellow, red. I stop. I wait. Green. I go. I turn into the secure lot of the communications center. The building is a fortress of gray stone and dark glass. It has no sign, only a street number. I roll down my window as I approach the gate. The cool air rushes in. I extend my arm, holding my proximity card to the reader. The reader beeps, a high-pitched tone of acceptance. The heavy steel gate rolls back on its track with a low, mechanical rumble. I drive through, finding my assigned spot. It is near the back, under a light post. I park perfectly centered between the white lines. I turn off the ignition. The engine silence is sudden. I sit for a moment in the stillness, listening to the ticking of the cooling metal. I take a sip of my coffee. It is still hot, the flavor rich and complex. I take a deep breath, holding it for 4 counts, releasing it for 4 counts. Box breathing. In, hold, out, hold. My heart rate is steady. My mind is a clean slate. I exit the car, locking it behind me. The walk to the employee entrance is short. The wind has picked up, rustling the ornamental hedges that line the walkway. I reach the heavy metal door. There is a keypad and a biometric scanner. I type in my 6-digit code. The keys feel rubbery and firm under my fingers. I place my thumb on the glass plate of the scanner. A beam of green light sweeps across my print. Access granted. The lock disengages with a heavy clack. I pull the door open. The air inside is conditioned, filtered, and precisely 68 degrees. It smells faintly of ozone and floor wax. I walk down the long linoleum hallway. My boots squeak softly on the polished surface. I enter the locker room. It is empty, save for one other dispatcher from the night shift who is just finishing changing out. We exchange a nod. No words are needed. He looks tired, his shoulders slumped. I look fresh, my posture upright. It is the changing of the guard. I go to my locker, number 42. I spin the combination dial. Right, left, right. The mechanism aligns. I open the metal door. I hang up my jacket. I place my car keys on the top shelf. I take out my headset case. I check my appearance in the small mirror. on the inside of the locker door. Uniform straight, badge straight, eyes clear. I close the locker. I walk out of the locker room and approach the double doors that lead to the floor. Above the door, a red light is not lit, meaning there is no major incident currently being worked that requires absolute silence upon entry. I swipe my badge again. The doors hiss open pneumatically. The operations floor, the pit, the hive. It is a vast, cavernous room with high ceilings and sound dampening acoustic tiles on the walls. The lighting is dim, kept low to reduce eye strain and glare. The room is illuminated by the glow of hundreds of computer monitors, casting a soft, blue aquatic light over the faces of the dispatchers. There is a low hum, a texture of sound made up of quiet voices speaking in controlled tones, the clicking of keyboards, and the soft static of radio traffic. It is a symphony of competence. I walk to the supervisor's desk, the central island in this sea of technology. The shift supervisor, a woman who has been here for 20 years, looks up and smiles. She points to Station 12. Station 12 is yours today, she whispers. Quiet night. Mostly. I nod. Understood. I walk to Station 12. The dispatcher, currently sitting there, sees me approach. He signals that he is ready to unplug. He types a final command, logging his departure in the system. He stands up, stretching his back. All yours, he says softly. Chair is a bit stiff, might need adjusting. Radio channel 4 has a slight static interference. Maintenance is ticketed. Copy that, I say. Have a good sleep. He walks away, vanishing into the locker room. I am alone at the console. This is my cockpit, my instrument panel, my domain. I place my bag on the floor. I take out my sanitizing wipes. Before I touch anything, I clean. I wipe down the desk surface, removing dust and invisible residues. I wipe the keyboard, running the cloth over every key. I wipe the mouse. I wipe the armrests of the chair. The smell of lemon and alcohol rises, sharp and sterile. I throw the wipe away. Now the ergonomic setup. I sit in the chair. It is a high-backed, 24-hour rated mesh chair. I reach for the levers under the seat. I lower the height until my feet are flat on the floor, my knees at a 90-degree angle. I adjust the lumbar support, inflating it until it meets the curve of my lower back firmly. I unlock the recline, lean back to find the balance point, then lock it again. It must be perfect. I will be here for 12 hours. I press the button on the motorized desk legs. The entire surface rises with a smooth electric whir. I stop it when the keyboard tray is exactly level with my elbows. My wrists must be straight. I take my headset out of its case. It is a lightweight, single-ear model with a noise-canceling boom microphone. I inspect the cord. No phrase. I plug the quick disconnect cable into the console's jack. It snaps in with a satisfying click. I place the headset on my head, adjusting the metal band so it sits lightly on my temple. I position the microphone 2 fingers width from the corner of my mouth. I look at the screens. There are 5 of them, arranged in a semicircle around me. Screen 1 on the far left, the radio control system. It shows the frequencies as digital bars, pulsing with activity. Screen 2, the telephone interface. A list of trunk lines, currently all gray and idle. Screen 3, the center, the CAD. Computer-aided dispatch. This is the brain. It is a black background with high contrast text in amber, green, and red. It lists active calls, available units, and pending events. Screen 4, the map. A highly detailed satellite view of the county, overlaid with street names, hydrants, and unit locations represented by small, moving icons. Screen 5 on the far right. The browser for criminal justice databases and reference materials. I reach for the keyboard. My fingers hover over the keys. I type my username. I type my password. It is a complex string of letters and numbers that my fingers know by muscle memory. I hit enter. The screens flicker and refresh. My profile loads. The colors shift to my preferred palette. The map centers on my jurisdiction. The radio channels populate with my assigned talk groups. I press the foot pedal under the desk to test the radio transmit. I see the red lightning bolt icon light up on screen 1. I release it. The icon goes dark. The connection is solid. I pick up my mouse. I move the cursor across the expanse of the 5 screens. It travels smoothly, jumping from monitor to monitor without lag. I open the active call window. I arrange the columns: time, location, nature, unit. I take my coffee mug, open the seal, and take a sip. I place it on the coaster to my left, away from the electronics. I look at the status board. Patrol units are marked in green, available. Fire units are marked in red, in quarters. EMS units are marked in blue, on standby. The board is static. The phone lines are silent. The radio is quiet, save for the occasional code 4 or traffic stop complete from the night shift officers finishing their paperwork. I settle into the chair. I can feel the hum of the cooling fans in the computer tower beneath the desk. It is a white noise that wraps around me. I verify the volume levels on my headset, turning the knob slightly to the right until the ambient hiss of the open airwaves is just audible. I am plugged in. I am connected to the grid. I am the central node in a web of copper and fiber optics that stretches across the entire city. I take a deep breath, smelling the sanitized desk and the faint coffee aroma. My hands rest lightly on the edge of the keyboard. My posture is relaxed but alert. I watch the digital clock in the corner of the center screen. The seconds tick by. Click, click, click. The city is waking up. The traffic on the map screen begins to thicken, the lines turning from green to yellow. The sun is rising outside, unseen by us in this windowless room, but felt in the increasing tempo of the world. I am ready. I wait for the first ring. I wait for the first voice. I wait to do the work. The anticipation is not a feeling of nervousness. It is a feeling of potential energy, like a compressed spring, like a held breath. A light blinks on screen 2. Line 1. Incoming emergency. I do not jump. I do not rush. I move with fluid, practiced precision. I reach out. I click the mouse. I hear the line open in my ear. The silence of the room falls away, replaced by the immediate reality of the voice on the other end. My finger hovers over the keyboard, ready to transcribe chaos into order. I am here. I am listening. 911. Where is your emergency? The headset settles over my ears with a familiar, comforting pressure. It is a lightweight piece of architecture, matte black plastic and soft foam, designed for 12-hour shifts. I adjust the headband until it sits perfectly across the crown of my head, neither too tight nor too loose. The microphone arm swivels down on its hinge. I position the foam windscreen exactly 2 finger widths from the corner of my mouth. This is a precise measurement. Too close, and my breath will distort the audio. Too far, and my voice will lose its authority. I sit back into the mesh of my ergonomic chair. It groans softly, a welcoming sound as it accepts my weight. I reach under the seat, finding the lever to unlock the recline, finding that sweet spot of balance where my spine feels weightless. My feet find their home on the floor. My right foot rests lightly on the pedal. This is the push-to-talk switch, the heavy-duty, distinct button that opens the channel to the officers on the street. It has a treaded rubber surface, gripping the sole of my sneaker. Before me, the console is awake. The bank of 6 monitors glows with a low, amber-tinted luminance, adjusted to reduce eye strain in the dim room. The air conditioning hums a white noise blanket that scrubs away the silence without imposing on it. I pull the keyboard tray closer. It glides on silent rails, locking into place just above my lap. This is a mechanical keyboard, heavy and robust. The keys have a high travel distance. When I type, it does not sound like tapping. It sounds like rain on a tin roof, a rhythmic, purposeful clatter that marks the tempo of the morning. My hand finds the mouse. It is a vertical mouse, shaped like a shark fin to keep my wrist in a neutral handshake position. I slide it across the expansive mat. The cursor on the central screen moves with fluid precision, ghosting from the map on the left to the call log on the right. The status bar at the top of my primary screen shifts from yellow to green. I am logged on. I am ready. The first call of the morning arrives not with a shrill ring, but with a visual cue. A box on the telephony screen flashes red. A soft, singular tone chimes in my ear. It is a polite summons. I inhale slowly through my nose, grounding myself, and click the answer button. 911, where is your emergency? My voice is an octave lower than my speaking voice. It is the dispatcher voice. Flat, calm, devoid of judgment or alarm. It is a voice designed to de-escalate. The caller is speaking quickly, the words tumbling out in a disorganized stream. I do not interrupt. I listen for the anchors, the street name, the cross street, the nature of the problem. My hands are already moving. Tab, type, tab, type. I enter the location. The software, the computer-aided dispatch system, or CAD, instantly verifies the address. It standardizes the street name, capitalizing the letters and removing punctuation. A small green checkmark appears next to the field. Validation. The caller is reporting a minor two-vehicle collision in a parking lot. No injuries, just metal on metal and two frustrated drivers. I classify the call. My fingers dance over the number pad. 29. That is the code for a vehicle accident. I add the modifier. PD. Property damage only. Okay, I tell the caller. I have the location. Are you in a safe place? As they answer, I am already dispatching. I do not need to look at the keyboard. My fingers know the geography of the keys better than they know the pockets of my jeans. I type the narrative in shorthand, a language of abbreviations and codes that allows me to transcribe reality faster than it unfolds. V1 versus V2. Neg inch. Blocking lane. I hit the enter key. It makes a satisfying, solid thud. The call generates a card on my dispatch screen. A bright new row in the pending queue. I look at the map on the left monitor. It is a dark canvas of gray streets and black backgrounds, punctuated by moving icons. Blue icons for police, red for fire, yellow for medical. I see a blue unit idling 3 blocks away from the parking lot. Unit 4, designated by the number 4 Alpha 2. I press my right foot down on the pedal. There is a tactile click under my shoe. A red lightning bolt icon lights up on my radio screen. The channel is open. For Alpha 2, copy a call for service. I release the pedal. The channel closes. For Alpha 2, go ahead, the officer responds. His voice is tinny, filtered through the digital radio system, but clear. I press the pedal again. Property damage accident. 110 Main Street. The grocery store lot. Copy. Show me en route. I type the command to assign him. One line of code. /ER space for Alpha 2. Enter. On the screen, his blue icon turns from the idle status color of cyan to the active status color of purple. The timestamp is logged automatically. The system tracks every second. The flow begins. Time in this room behaves differently than time outside. Outside, time is measured in the movement of the sun. Here, time is measured in the rhythm of the cue. Another line flashes. I pick it up. A medical alarm. An elderly resident has pressed their pendant. I launch the medical protocol software. It is a series of questions, a logic tree that guides the assessment. Is the patient conscious? Yes. Is the patient breathing normally? Yes. I click through the radio buttons on the screen. The mouse clicks are soft, barely audible percussions. The software recommends a Bravo level response. Basic life support. I look at the fire dispatch monitor. Station 6 is closest. I can see their status. They are in quarters available. I switch my headset focus to the fire channel. I press a different button on the screen to activate the station tones. A melodic 2-note warble goes out over the air. Doo-doo. It is a sound that wakes the firefighters, opens the station bay doors, and turns on the lights. Rescue 6, respond to 300 Oak Lane. A fall. I watch the map. Within 45 seconds, the red icon for Rescue 6 begins to move. They are rolling. I update the time. The room is quiet, save for the hum of fans and the staccato rhythm of keyboards. I am not alone. To my left is Sarah. To my right is David. We do not look at each other. We are connected by the shared digital workspace. I can see what they are doing on my screen. I see Sarah taking a burglary report. I see David managing a traffic stop. We pass information without speaking. A call comes in that crosses our jurisdictional lines. I type a quick message in the internal chat window. Unit crossing into your zone. Northbound on the highway. I see David's icon move to intercept on the map. He flashes his status light at me on the screen. Acknowledged. This is the flow state. It is a feeling of total immersion. My brain is split into parallel processing tracks. One track is listening to the radio traffic, scanning for the call signs of my units. Another track is monitoring the pending queue. A third track is typing, constantly typing. My fingers are extensions of my thought process. I do not think about the letters. I think about the concept, and the letters appear. The mechanical switches of the keyboard provide a constant tactile feedback. The resistance of the key, the break point where the switch activates, the bottoming out against the backplate. It is a sensory loop. Touch, sound, sight. I reach for my coffee. It is in a heavy ceramic mug with a wide base to prevent tipping. I take a sip without taking my eyes off the monitors. The coffee is lukewarm now, but the caffeine is necessary fuel. The radio traffic picks up as the city wakes. Traffic stops, suspicious vehicles, alarms. My foot works the pedal like a pianist working the sustain. Press, speak, release. 4 Alpha 2, show me on scene. Copy 4 Alpha 2. On scene at 0815. I type the status change. /OS. Enter. A new call. A construction noise complaint. Low priority. I enter the details, enjoying the mundane nature of it. It is a puzzle piece to be filed. I check the ordnance times. They are allowed to start at 7. It is 7:15. I advise the caller of the code. I explain the rules calmly. I am a librarian of chaos, organizing the disorder into neat, labeled boxes. The mouse glides. I drag a map layer to zoom in on a specific intersection. The vector lines render instantly. I can see the building footprints, the fire hydrants, the alleyways. I am looking at the city from a god's eye view, watching the pulse of the streets through data points. I enter a rhythm of housekeeping. I check on units that have been on traffic stops for more than 10 minutes. 4 Alpha 6, status check. Code 4, just issuing a citation. Code 4, no assistance needed. I type the code. It resets his safety timer. The colors on my screen are a soothing palette of dark grays, muted blues, and alert greens. The interface is dense, packed with information, but to me, it is elegant. Every pixel serves a purpose. There is no wasted space. I open a second window to run a license plate for an officer. He reads it to me phonetically. Union, Lincoln, Victor, 3, Niner, 2. I type it into the state database query field. ULV 392. The return pops up instantly. A clean record. Valid registration. A silver sedan. I relay the information back. 104. Return is valid on a silver sedan. Copy valid. The exchange is crisp. Professional. There is a pleasure in the brevity. We are communicating complex information with minimum syllables. It is a language stripped of fluff, refined to pure utility. My posture shifts slightly. I raise the desk. The electric motors whine softly as the entire surface lifts. I stand up, stretching my legs, keeping my eyes locked on the screens. The change in perspective keeps the blood flowing. I rock back and forth on my heels, the headset cord swaying gently. A call comes in for a structure fire. This breaks the rhythm of minor incidents. This requires a symphony of coordination. I straighten my spine. I bring the keyboard closer. The caller reports smoke from a roof. I type rapidly. Residential structure fire. I tone out the alarm. This time, it is a multi-station response. Engines, trucks, a battalion chief, an ambulance. Station 1, Station 3, Truck 1, Battalion 1. Respond to a structure fire. I list the units. I verify the tactical channel they will use. Switch to fire TAC 3. I move my radio focus to the tactical channel. I am the anchor for their operation. I start a timer on my screen. Incident command requires status checks every 10 minutes. I watch the red icons swarm toward the address on the map. I am the conductor. I ensure they are taking different routes so they do not block each other. Engine 1, approach from the north. Hydrant is on the corner. Copy from the north. I hear the background noise in their transmission, the sirens, the air horns, the heavy diesel engines revving. But in my room, it is quiet. Just the click of my keys and the hum of the computer. I am the eye of the storm. I open the building pre-plan on my side monitor. It shows the layout of the house, the gas shutoff valve location, the electrical panel. Command dispatch. Pre-plan shows gas shutoff on the Bravo side. Copy gas on Bravo. I am feeding them survival data. It feels tangible, like I am handing them tools through the radio waves. As the fire call stabilizes, I seamlessly handle a tow truck request on the police channel. My brain partitions the tasks. Left ear, fire tactics. Right ear, police logistics. I type a request into the tow rotation software. It selects the next company on the list. I dial their number on the keypad. This is dispatch calling for tow. Police request. Standard tow. I give the address. I hang up. I update the log. Tow is en route. ETA 20 minutes. I acknowledge the officer. The morning sunlight begins to angle through the high, frosted windows of the center, but it does not touch us. We exist in the artificial twilight of the control room. The light simply reminds me that the world is turning, that the rush hour is peaking. The call volume increases. The queue lengthens. But I do not rush. Rushing leads to errors. I rely on the process. Pick up. 911. Where is your emergency? Verify. Type. Classify. Dispatch. Release. It is a circle, a perfect closed loop of action and reaction. I navigate the CAD menus using only keyboard shortcuts. Control plus I for a new incident. F5 to refresh the stack. F12 to send a message. My hands are a blur, but my mind is still. I hear a new voice on the radio. A rookie officer. He sounds slightly breathless, his cadence unsure. Dispatch, show me. Show me out at. The park. I smile faintly. I press the pedal. Unit 5, Bravo 1. Copy out at Centennial Park. What is your status? I guide him. I am the invisible partner. I wait for his reply. I am checking a suspicious subject. Copy. Checking subject. I start a timer for him. I will check on him in 3 minutes. I will watch over him. The tasks are microscopic in their detail. Checking a warrant requires reading a long string of numbers and physical descriptors. White male, 6'1", 200 pounds, scar on left forearm. I verify each point. The data matches. I confirm the hit. The satisfaction comes from the alignment of data. When the description on the screen matches the voice in my ear, it is like a key turning in a lock. Click. Open. Resolved. I look at the clock on the wall. 2 hours have passed. It felt like 20 minutes. This is the time dilation of the flow. My fingers trace the edge of the keyboard. The plastic is smooth, worn slightly shiny by years of service. These tools, the headset, the pedal, the screens, they are extensions of my body. The separation between operator and machine has dissolved. I am not just typing. I am weaving the safety net of the city. I am the first point of contact for chaos, and my job is to transmute that chaos into order. I take a deep breath, filling my lungs with the cool, conditioned air. I stretch my neck, hearing a soft pop of release. I settle back into the chair, ready for the next wave. The phone line flashes. The red box blinks. The soft tone chimes. I press the button. 911, where is your emergency? The digital clock on the upper right corner of my primary monitor shifts silently. The numbers change from 11:59 to 1200 hours. The shift is halfway through. The morning rush, with its chaotic rhythm of traffic accidents and medical alarms, has receded like a tide going out, leaving behind the smooth, damp sand of the midday lull. I wait for a break in the radio traffic. The channel is quiet. My partner 3 desks down gives me a subtle nod, signaling that she has the board covered. It is time to disengage. My hand moves to the mouse, sliding it over the smooth black mat. I click the status bar. A drop-down menu appears, and I select the option labeled break. The little square next to my call sign turns from a vibrant, reddy green to a dormant, resting yellow. Now, the physical disconnect. I reach up with both hands. My fingers find the adjustable slides of the headset band. I expand it slightly, lifting the padded earpiece away from my left ear. The sudden absence of the low-level static, a sound I have lived inside for the last 4 hours, feels like a pressure valve releasing. I unclip the push-to-talk unit from my belt. The plastic snap, loud in the quiet alcove. I place the headset on the hook, attached to the side of the console, coiling the black cord in a perfect, suspended loop. I push back. The ergonomic chair rolls smoothly on the hard plastic floor mat. I plant my feet flat on the ground and stand, feeling my spine realign. I stretch my arms overhead, interlacing my fingers and pushing my palms toward the acoustic tiles of the ceiling. A deep, satisfying stretch runs through my shoulders and down the length of my back. I step out of the pod. The dispatch floor is dim, illuminated mostly by the cool blue and gray glow of 24 monitors, leaving it feels like stepping out of a submarine. I walk toward the heavy door at the back of the room. I push the metal bar, and the door opens with a heavy, pneumatic hiss, sealing the noise of the operations floor behind me. The hallway is brighter, lit by overhead fluorescents that hum at a frequency only audible if you truly listen for it. The air here is different. It lacks the electrical charge of the dispatch floor. It smells faintly of floor wax and coffee. I walk 40 paces to the break room. This is a ritual of deceleration. My gait changes from the purposeful stride of the operations floor to a looser, more relaxed walk. I am moving from a world of seconds to a world of minutes. I enter the break room. It is empty, save for the low, rhythmic compressor of the oversized stainless steel refrigerator. I walk over to the row of lockers on the far wall. I dial the combination on the silver padlock, 3 turns right, 1 turn left, 1 turn right. The shackle pops open with a metallic click. Inside, my lunch bag sits on the top shelf. It is a canvas bag, waxed and sturdy. I lift it out by the handle, the weight of it promising and familiar. I move to the counter. The surface is a speckled gray laminate, cool to the touch. I unzip the bag. The zipper flows smoothly around the rectangular track. I begin to unpack, treating my meal with the same organizational care I apply to my console. First, the thermos. It is a wide-mouthed vessel, matte black steel. I unscrew the lid, twisting it 3 times until the seal breaks. A plume of steam rises, carrying the scent of beef stew rosemary, thyme, and slow-cooked broth. The smell is grounding. It connects me to the physical world, to ingredients chopped and simmered, far away from digital maps and frantic voices. I pour the stew into a ceramic bowl I keep in the cupboard. The liquid is thick, heavy with potatoes and carrots. I place the bowl in the microwave, not to cook, but just to bring the temperature back up to a perfect heat. I press the buttons. 3-0 start. While the microwave hums, I retrieve a small container from the bag. Inside is a thick slice of sourdough bread, wrapped in beeswax paper. I unfold the paper, the crinkle sound sharp and distinct. The bread is crusty, dusted with flour. I place it on a paper towel. The microwave beeps. 3 shrill notes. I open the door and retrieve the bowl. The heat radiates through the ceramic into my palms, warming my cold hands. I carry the food to a small round table near the window. This is the only window in the building that looks out onto the world at ground level. The glass is thick, tinted slightly against the glare. I sit down. The chair here is simple, wood and metal, rigid compared to the complex suspension of my dispatch chair. I look out. The parking lot is quiet. A maintenance truck drives slowly past, its amber light flashing lazily. The sky is a uniform sheet of pale gray clouds, diffusing the light so there are no hard shadows. It is a calm, neutral backdrop. I pick up my spoon. It is heavy silver, not plastic. I bring the stew to my lips. The taste is rich and savory. I eat slowly. There is no phone ringing. There is no radio traffic. There is only the texture of the vegetables, the warmth of the broth, and the resistance of the sourdough crust as I tear off a piece. I chew methodically. In the operations room, I drink water in quick sips between transmissions. Here I can take my time. I watch a bird land on the edge of a planter box outside. It hops twice, pecks at something invisible in the soil, and flies away. I track its movement, not because I have to log it, but simply to witness it. I check my watch. 20 minutes have passed. I have 10 minutes remaining before I need to be back at the console. I finish the last of the bread, wiping the bowl clean. I stand and walk to the sink. I rinse the bowl, the water rushing over the ceramic. I use a sponge with a drop of blue soap, scrubbing in circles until the surface squeaks under my thumb. I dry it with a paper towel and place it back in the cupboard. I screw the lid back onto the thermos and return the canvas bag to my locker, snapping the padlock shut. The return journey is a process of rearming. I walk back down the hallway, letting the silence settle in my mind. I am clearing the cache, making space for the next 4 hours of data. I open the heavy door to the dispatch floor. The darkness greets me. The hum of the cooling fans in the server towers is the heartbeat of the room. I walk to my station. My partner looks up and gives a thumbs up. The board has remained green. No major incidents. I sit down. The chair accepts my weight, the mesh back conforming to my posture. I do not put the headset on immediately. During the lull, there is time for maintenance. I open the center drawer of my desk. Inside, arranged in a plastic tray, are my cleaning supplies. I take out a small canister of compressed air and a microfiber cloth. I start with the keyboard. It is a specialized mechanical board with color-coded keys for fire, police, and medical routing. I tilt the keyboard on its side. I trigger the compressed air in short, controlled bursts. Dust motes are dislodged from between the keys, dancing in the glow of the monitors before vanishing. I wipe the surface of the keys. I move from left to right, polishing the enter key, the space bar, the function keys. The cloth glides over the plastic. I enjoy the tactile feedback of the keys, depressing slightly under the pressure of the cloth. Next, the mouse. I clean the optical sensor on the bottom, removing a tiny speck of lint. I wipe the buttons where my fingers rest. The equipment must be flawless. A sticky key or a lagging mouse is a friction point I cannot afford when the pace picks up. I place the cleaning supplies back in the drawer and slide it shut. It closes with a soft thud. Now the logbook. While the computer records everything automatically, I keep a physical log of major resource changes. It is a large binder with grid paper. I open it to the current date. I pick up my pen, a fine point rollerball with black ink. I review the morning's notes. There is a road closure on Highway 9 due to construction that started at 0800. I check the county engineering website on my fourth monitor. The construction is scheduled to end at 1400 hours. I write in the logbook. My handwriting is block print, all caps, perfectly aligned with the blue grid lines. Update. HWI 9 closure ends 1400. The ink flows smoothly onto the paper. The friction of the pen tip is satisfying. It is permanent. It is ordered. I look at the resource status screen. Engine 4 is out of service for mechanical maintenance. I verify the time they went under. They have been out for 2 hours. I make a note to check on their status in 30 minutes. The room is quiet. The other dispatchers are speaking in low murmurs. One is giving directions to a non-emergency caller. Another is dispatching a patrol car to a noise complaint. These are the soft currents of the job, the routine flow that exists between the rogue waves of high-priority calls. I pull the headset off the hook. I inspect the foam earpiece. It is intact. I place it on my head, adjusting the band until the pressure is equalized. I position the microphone, boom exactly 2 finger widths from the corner of my mouth. I clip the push-to-talk unit back onto my belt. I plug the quick disconnect cord back into the console. The connection clicks into place. I put my hand on the mouse. I hover the cursor over the status bar. I click. The yellow square turns green. The text changes to ready. I am back online, but the pace is still slow. The afternoon lull is heavy. I decide to organize the digital map layers. Over time, the map display can become cluttered with too many overlays, hydrant locations, storm drain protocols, hazardous material routes. I open the settings menu. I toggle off the layer for flood zones. It is a sunny day, and we do not need that data cluttering the visual field. I toggle on the layer for school zones. It is nearly 1400 hours. School will be letting out soon. The traffic patterns will change. Buses will be on the road. Children will be crossing streets. I zoom in on the map, centering it on the high school district. The lines are crisp vectors of white and gray against the black background. I pan across the streets, mentally driving the routes. I check the names of the cross streets, refreshing my mental geography. Willow meets Chestnut. Chestnut leads to the overpass. The overpass feeds into the arterial road. Knowing the map is not just about looking at the screen. It is about feeling the terrain in your mind. When a caller screams a location, I need to be there instantly. I need to know that Willow is a dead end before the computer tells me. I verify the location of the nearest automated defibrillators in the downtown sector. I click on the icons, ensuring the contact information for the building managers is up to date. It is a garden that needs constant weeding. A call comes in. The soft electronic warble in my ear is gentle, not the urgent siren of a 911 line. It is the administrative line. I press the pedal under the desk with my foot to open the channel. Dispatch, this is Unit 2 Alpha 1, a voice says. It is a patrol sergeant. His voice is relaxed, static-free. Go ahead, 2 Alpha 1, I reply. My voice is level, dropping instantly back into the cadence of the radio. I'll be out at the station for report writing. Show me unavailable for 30 minutes. Copy 2 Alpha 1. Out at station. Unavailable. I type the code into the command line. 1019. I enter his unit number. 2A1. I hit enter. On my status screen, his unit bar slides from the available column to the busy column. The color changes from green to blue. It is a small transaction, a single piece of data moved from one box to another. But it is accurate. The board reflects the reality of the street. I lean back. The rhythm of the afternoon is hypnotic. I watch the clock. 13:15, 13:16. I pull up the weather radar on the auxiliary screen. A front is moving in from the west, but it will not hit us until the night shift. For now, the map is clear. I take a sip of water from my clear plastic bottle. It is cool and clean. I set it back down on the coaster, careful not to make a sound. There is a deep satisfaction in this downtime. It is not boredom. Boredom is a lack of purpose. This is readiness. It is the hum of an idling engine, lubricated and warm, waiting for the gear to engage. I scan the active calls list for the entire county. A cat stuck in a drain pipe in the North District. A minor bender in a parking lot in the South. A request for a welfare check on an elderly resident who hasn't picked up their mail. I open the welfare check ticket. I read the notes. The mail carrier reported it. I check the history for that address. We have been there 3 times in the last 2 years. False alarms. Medical alert malfunctions. I add a note to the ticket for the responding officers. Reference history at this address. Key holder information is on file. I am adding value to the call, smoothing the path for the officers before they even arrive. I am the invisible logistics manager. I hear the sound of a chair rolling across the floor behind me. The shift supervisor is making his rounds. He walks down the row of consoles. He stops at my desk. He does not speak, just places a fresh ream of printer paper on the corner of my desk. I nod. He moves on. I pick up the paper. The package is heavy, a solid brick of potential. I slide my fingernail under the paper wrapper and tear it open. The smell of fresh bond paper releases. I pull out the paper tray of the small thermal printer to my right. It is low. I fan the stack of new paper, the sheets separating with a soft thwip 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 sound. I align the edges by tapping the stack on the desk. I load the tray. I slide it back in until it clicks. Ready to print. I return my hands to the keyboard. I rest my fingertips on the home row. F and J. The raised bumps under my index fingers anchor me. The lull continues. I breathe in slowly, counting to 4. I hold for 4. I exhale for 4. I am a conduit. I am a router. I am a witness. Right now, I am simply a watcher. On the screen, a new line appears. It is a call from a landline. The address populates instantly. It is a residential address in the quiet suburbs. The phone rings in my ear. 1 ring. I do not jump. I do not rush. I simply engage. I press the button. 911. Where is your emergency? My husband, an elderly woman's voice says. She sounds calm, but confused. He fell in the garden. He can't get up. Okay, ma'am, I say, my voice dropping an octave, becoming the anchor she needs. I have the paramedics starting that way. Stay on the line with me. My hands begin to move. I type the code for a fall victim. I type the code for a lift assist. I transmit the data to the fire station nearest her home. The lull is over. The machine is moving again. But I am rested. I am fed. I am organized. I am ready. The room is at its quietest now. The digital clock on the wall reads 0400 hours. This is the deep valley of the night shift, the stretch of time where the city outside seems to hold its breath. Inside the dispatch center, the air conditioning hums a steady, low-frequency note that vibrates gently through the floorboards. It is a comforting sound, a reminder of the controlled environment we inhabit, separated from the chaos by thick walls and secure doors. I settle into the rhythm of the final quarter of my shift. My posture is relaxed but upright, the ergonomic chair supporting my lower back as I lean slightly toward the bank of 6 monitors. The screens emit a soft, cool glow, bathing the console in shades of slate blue and charcoal gray. There is a lull in the radio traffic. The chaotic spikes of the early evening have smoothed out into a flat, manageable line. I take this opportunity to perform a status check on my active units. My left hand moves to the mouse. The movement is minimal, just a subtle shift of the wrist. I click on the unit status window. I see that Unit 2 Alpha 1 is currently marked as busy on a traffic stop. I check the timer. They have been on the stop for 8 minutes. I press the transmit pedal with my right foot. The switch engages with a soft, tactile depression. 2 Alpha 1, status check, I say. My voice is low, dropping an octave to match the stillness of the room. I keep the volume even, stripping away any unnecessary inflection. A moment of static, then the officer's voice returns, calm and routine. Code 4 dispatch. Wrapping up now. Issuing a warning. Copy Code 4, I reply. I release the pedal. I type the update into the call log. CODFO you are. The keys on my mechanical keyboard offer a satisfying, muted resistance. Each keystroke is a distinct, crisp sensation under my fingertips. I hit enter, and the timestamp appears next to the note. 0409. The queue is clear. The map shows my available units drifting slowly through their patrol zones. Blue icons moving sluggishly along the gray grid of the streets. It is a satisfying visual. Everything is where it should be. I reach for my insulated tumbler. The metal is cool to the touch. I unscrew the lid, the threads turning smoothly, and take a sip of water. It is crisp and refreshing. I replace the lid, tightening it until I feel the seal lock into place. For the next hour, the work is purely administrative. This is the maintenance phase of the job, the digital housekeeping that ensures the system runs without friction. I pull up the warrant list that needs validation. It is a long column of names and file numbers, a puzzle of data that needs to be cross-referenced. I open the state database in a separate window. I begin the process of verifying files. I highlight a case number on the left screen, copy it, and paste it into the search field on the right screen. The database loads, a spinning circle turning for a brief second before populating the fields. I compare the data points. Name matches, date of birth matches, physical description matches. The process is repetitive, hypnotic. It requires focus, but not urgency. It is a flow state. Read, verify, confirm, clear. Read, verify, confirm, clear. With every file I close, I feel the weight of the shift lightening. I am tidying up the digital world, organizing the chaos into neat, archived rows. There is a profound sense of competence in this simplicity. I am not saving lives in this moment. I am maintaining order. And order is the foundation of everything we do. At 05:30, the first hints of the morning routine begin to stir. The night crew starts to shift in their seats. We can feel the end approaching. I receive a non-emergency call. A citizen reporting a noise complaint. A garbage truck operating too early in a residential zone. I answer with the standard greeting. 911. What is the address of the emergency? The caller is irritated, but I do not absorb their irritation. I act as a dampener. I listen. I type. I categorize. I understand, I say, my voice smooth and placid. I am entering the information now. We will have an officer drive through the area when one becomes available. I type the narrative. RP states loud noise from sanitation vehicle. I assign a low priority code. I dispatch the call to the pending queue, where it sits. A neat yellow line of text waiting for the day shift. It is a small task, handled with the same precision as a major incident. It is finished. The clock hits 05:45. The transition window has opened. I begin the pre-departure ritual. I minimize my active windows, leaving only the essential dispatch grid open. I check my personal inbox and clear out the notifications. I save my shift log, watching the progress bar fill from left to right until it hits 100%. File saved. The door to the secure center buzzes. It is the heavy, magnetic thud of the lock disengaging. The day shift is arriving. They enter with a different energy, fresh, awake, carrying the scent of morning coffee and rain. I hear the soft murmur of greetings as they move to their lockers. My relief, a dispatcher named Sarah, approaches my console. She looks rested. She is carrying her headset bag and a fresh bottle of water. She stands beside me, not rushing, just observing the screens. "Good morning," she says softly. "Good morning," I reply. It was a steady night. Quiet final hour. I give her the briefing. I point to the screen, tracing the lines of active data with my finger. We have 2 units at the precinct for report writing. 1 unit is patrolling the north sector. There is a noise complaint pending in the queue, low priority. The warrant validation list is up to date as of 0500. She nods, absorbing the information. She looks at the map, then at the pending queue. Got it, she says. I'll take it from here. This is the moment of release. I reach up to my console interface. My hand finds the volume knob for my headset and turns it down to 0. I reach for the quick disconnect cord at my chest. With a firm, deliberate tug, the connector pops apart. The click is audible, a sharp snap that signifies the severance of my connection to the radio network. I am no longer the voice in the ear of the officers. I am just a person in a chair. I slide the headset off my head, feeling the pressure lift from my temples. I coil the cord, wrapping it around my hand in focused, even loops, and place the headset into my bag. I stand up. My joints pop satisfyingly as I stretch, reaching my arms toward the ceiling. I step aside, and Sarah takes the seat. She plugs in. She adjusts the height of the chair. She moves the keyboard 2 inches to the left. She is now the captain of the ship. I pick up my bag. I grab my water tumbler. I walk to the cleaning station and pull a disinfectant wipe from the dispenser. The wipe is cool and damp, smelling of lemon and antiseptic. I return to the console, but I do not sit. I wipe down the surfaces I touched, even though Sarah is already settled. I clean the edges of the desk, the armrests of the chair I vacated, and the surface of the radio panel. It is a gesture of respect, leaving the workspace pristine. See you tonight, I say. Have a good sleep, she replies, her eyes already scanning the monitors. I walk away from the pod. The carpet dampens the sound of my footsteps. I pass through the heavy security door, swiping my badge one last time. The reader beeps, a high affirmative tone, and the lock clatters open. I enter the locker room. The light here is warmer, less clinical. I open my locker, the metal door swinging wide on silent hinges. I place my headset bag on the top shelf. I change my shoes, swapping the lightweight indoor sneakers for my sturdy outdoor boots. I tie the laces tight, pulling the loops until they are secure. I put on my jacket. I zip it up to my chin. I am buttoned up, packed away, ready to face the world. I push through the final exit door and step outside. The sensation is immediate. The air is cool and misty. The sky is a pale, washed out indigo, transitioning into the soft gold of dawn on the eastern horizon. The streetlights are still on, but they are fading, their sodium orange glow struggling against the rising sun. I walk to my car. The parking lot is quiet. dew glistening on the hoods of the vehicles. I unlock my door and slide into the driver's seat. The interior is cold, but it is a private cold. It smells of old leather and the vanilla air freshener hanging from the mirror. I insert the key and turn the ignition. The engine catches immediately, settling into a smooth idle. I do not turn on the radio. After 12 hours of voices, alerts, tones, and digital noise, the silence of the car is a luxury. I want only the sound of the tires on the pavement. I pull out of the lot and turn onto the main road. The drive home is a reverse commute. I am moving against the grain of the city. In the opposite lanes, the traffic is building. Cars are lined up bumper to bumper, headlights shining, people clutching coffee cups, rushing toward their day. They are winding up. I am winding down. I drive smoothly, keeping my speed steady. I watch the world wake up through my windshield. I see a jogger waiting at a crosswalk, their breath puffing in the cool air. I see a delivery truck turning into a bakery. I see the traffic lights changing rhythmically, green, yellow, red. I feel a profound sense of detachment. Their urgency is not my urgency. I have done my work. I have managed the chaos. I have kept the line moving. Now I am a ghost drifting through the morning, invisible and content. I turn onto my street. It is a quiet residential avenue, lined with oak trees. The leaves are still dark in the early light. I pull into my driveway. I put the car in park and turn off the engine. The silence rushes back in, absolute and heavy. I sit for a moment, just breathing, in and out. My hands rest on the steering wheel. I let go of the tension in my shoulders. I leave the calls, the codes, and the voices here in the car. They do not come inside. I gather my things and walk to the front door. The key slides into the lock with a smooth, metallic glide. The tumbler turns. The door opens. Home. The house is dim. The curtains are drawn. It smells of laundry detergent and stillness. It is a sanctuary. I lock the door behind me, engaging the deadbolt. Click. The world is locked out. I walk to the kitchen and place my keys in the ceramic bowl on the counter. The clatter is the bell that signals the end of the shift. I rinse my water tumbler in the sink, the warm water rushing over my hands. I dry it and place it in the rack. I am not hungry for a heavy meal. I toast a single slice of bread. The toaster pops with a cheerful sound. I butter the toast, the knife scraping softly against the crisp surface. I eat standing up, looking out the back window at my garden. The birds are just starting to sing. It is a peaceful sound, organic and unstructured, the opposite of the radio traffic. I head to the bathroom. I turn on the shower, adjusting the handle until the temperature is hot, steaming hot. I undress, folding my uniform neatly, the black polo shirt, the tactical pants. I place them in the hamper. I step into the shower. The water hits my skin, a torrent of heat that seems to wash away the static of the night. I close my eyes. I scrub my arms, my chest, my face. The soap smells of sandalwood. I let the water run over my head, matting my hair down, warming my scalp. I stand there for a long time, just feeling the water, letting the heat penetrate my muscles. When I step out, the bathroom is filled with steam. I towel off vigorously. The towel is rough and absorbent. I feel clean. I feel heavy. My body is telling me it is time. I walk into the bedroom. It is designed for this specific purpose, sleeping while the sun is up. The blackout curtains are heavy and thick, sealing the edges of the window perfectly. Not a single beam of daylight penetrates the room. It is pitch black, a manufactured night. I turn on the white noise machine on the nightstand. It produces the sound of heavy rain, a constant, deep, rushing sound. It masks the noise of the neighborhood, the lawnmowers, the cars, the dogs. It creates a cocoon of sound. I pull back the covers. The sheets are cool cotton, crisp and smooth. I slide into bed, the mattress accepting my weight, contouring to my shape. I pull the heavy duvet up to my chin. I lie on my back. I begin the final process of the day. I focus on my feet. I tense the muscles for a second, then let them go. I feel them sink into the mattress. I move to my calves. Tense, release. Heavy. I move to my thighs. Tense, release. My hips. My stomach. My chest. I let my shoulders drop away from my ears. I feel my neck lengthen. I unclench my jaw. I let my tongue rest on the floor of my mouth. I relax the small muscles around my eyes. My mind replays a few fragments of the shift, but they are distant now, like echoes in a canyon. The code 4, the warrant check, the click of the mouse, the sound of Sarah's voice. They drift by like clouds, unattached to emotion. I focus on the sound of the artificial rain. The darkness is absolute. The bed is warm. The work is done. The city is safe, or at least it is in someone else's hands now. My breathing slows. It becomes deep and rhythmic. In for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Out for 4 counts. In. Hold. Out. The heaviness moves from my limbs to my eyelids. They flutter once, twice, and then seal shut. The world fades. The blue light of the monitors is gone. The radio is silent. There is only the comfort of the dark, the warmth of the blankets, and the well-earned peace of a job finished. I drift. I float. I sleep.